So I'm going to get moving a little faster to get us back on time. And I'm going to introduce to you Dana Myers, who is the Vice Chair of the Republican Party of Texas, to come up and talk about Texas GOP.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, you're going to have to forgive my notes. It's been a really long week for those of you who know what's going on with me at home. My family member who broke their hip, so I'm a little bit afraid. Anyway, thank you all for being here. This is such an important topic, as you all know. It was the number one concern of mine when I ran for vice chairman of the Republican Party of Texas, and then second, of course, was our border situation. So I think we've got the top two concerns in the country right now coming out of Texas. So, although it may be a dreary day, obviously those shining faces I'm seeing out there of Texans from all over the state is such a reassuring and important thing for us to come together in the Capitol to talk about election integrity, which is obviously on all of our minds and will determine the future of not only Texas, but the country. So, I ask all of us, as we're going to be talking about what every coalition and every group is doing, is to come together united in our purpose. Although we want to keep our individual group identities, I'm asking everyone to look at that little QR code I held out. That is from the Election Integrity Committee of the SREC. And Debbie Duke is the chairman. I'm on that committee along with many others that are sitting in this room. We would like to get the contact information for the various people interested in election integrity so that you can sign up for not only legislative alerts that Jill will be sending out, but also so that we can update you on the latest information coming into Texas that we're finding on the leftist 501c3s that are setting up shop in Texas. We also are going to be putting together some educational opportunities, hands-on training for the machines and the election process and election judge training, and also bringing in some national speakers to talk about the latest topics of what's going on and how to combat that. So that's what that QR code is for. It's going to ask you some very specific questions. I do that, I set it up, it will actually go to my email, Greater Texas, because we're going to make sure that everyone signs up is actually Republican, because there can be some fairly high-level conversations and information disseminated on that. So with that, besides asking you tonight, unite in purpose, protect our right as Texans and as United States citizens for a free, honest, and transparent election process. That's obviously something that we all want. Many of us often get called election deniers or such and such by the left. No, actually we want everyone's voice to be heard, but we want it to be done fairly and transparently. Second, I want to work together to establish a statewide election integrity coalition, county by county. There is no place in Texas that can be left unturned to have an election integrity task force put together. So again, one of the things you'll be asked on that QR information is your zip code, your SD, because we want to make sure we have a footprint in every county. Third, I want to work together to identify and find every new leftist organization that tries to plant its roots in Texas. As you know, many of these groups are coming in under 501c3s as nonpartisan, although they behave differently. And that is something we need to identify and then track and try to get rid of. 4, we're going to combat the disinformation that's being handed out about how our elections are run and what's happening. Obviously, as a Harris County resident, and having spoken to the RNC attorneys lately, we know there was massive negligence, fraud, you name it, down in Harris County. So much so that we have 22 candidates suing post-election to basically overturn those results or see if they can get a new election. So this is not something that is just pie in the sky, rumor mill conspiracy theory. These are real facts. And we have over 3,000 affidavits, I believe, to support that information from our election workers, just in that one area. The other thing we want to do is to train and educate and build an election law savvy cadre of Texans to be ready for 2024. And we also want to build this so that it's going to last beyond our term. And obviously, as many of you know, I have been hot on the trail of Eric, as well as ranked choice voting. For those of you who know what Eric is, there have already been 2 bills put forth, one that we wrote that Senator Hughes, I understand, is going to pick up, and then one that Senator Hall is also picking up, so expect more information on that. But for those of you who want to explain Eric to others, or who may not know, that is the supposedly voter roll purging system that Texas has signed into. However, I'm actually going to call it, everybody realizes it's corrupt. That's what everybody Second would be the ranked choice voting, which I'm hearing is rearing its ugly little head in Texas. We need to nip that in the bud. That's also another leftist organization idea. We like to term it ranked choice voting, or as I will quote one of the national calls I was on recently, which I just said, I'm going to steal your line. I hope that's okay. He said it's like Ricky Bobby and Talladega Nights. If you're not first, you're last. So we have to make sure everybody understands what that is. Now, as I said, please sign up for the QR code so we can keep you updated. And then as Sam Houston said, Texas can live without the United States, but the United States cannot make it without Texas. We are the road for the electoral votes for the Republican presidency in the future. So we have to protect Texas. I think you all know that. That's obviously why you're here giving up your day on a dreary, rainy day. And I appreciate you so much for coming out. I know this is all time that could be devoted to other things. But again, I remind people, it is time to be bold and be Texans. Let's get this done. Thank you.